This just in, breaking news. Not really, but I just found out about it. So it still counts. Disney is suing Ron DeSantis. I don't really understand from the title, and I couldn't even get from the article. Are they suing Ron DeSantis as the man, or are they suing Ron DeSantis as the institution? Because I think it's like the latter. But it's important to understand like how it actually came up to this, because as they point out in the article, a couple of years ago, Ron DeSantis had no interest in messing with Disney. For those of you who don't know, they have special privileges that no other corporation has. A couple of the privileges mentioned, like they do not need authorization to build anything. They do not have to follow building regulations. They do not have to pay taxes for the buildings that they do, like others. So basically, they also have like their own private police force. Like if Disney wants to, they can arrest you for whatever reason. They can detain you. Like you don't really have rights. Obviously, they're not abusing that, but legally speaking, they could if they so want. Like they're a nation, pretty much within a nation. So with all these privileges, you would think they would keep quiet because not a lot of people like them. It used to be the Democrats that wanted to strip away Disney's privileges in the past. They never actually went for it, but they would have like various speeches and talking points saying that, well, it's unfair. Like, why is this company being treated unlike all the others? But now, apparently, the right-wingers are after this. And the Democrats were literally screaming as they were trying to strip away some of those privileges. So how did it come to this? Well, the people in Florida had a bill which is basically like interpreted differently, whether you're on the left or on the right. Some people say it's the no grooming bill. Other people say it's the don't say gay bill. I don't think you would need a don't say gay bill because it's already redundant. Like if you go on World of Warcraft forums, I have seen a person say, wow, this game is really gay, and immediately he got banned, right? So like you're already not allowed to say gay. I don't know why they would have to pass it into law, but all jokes aside, what's interesting is that the bill was aimed at the school teachers, preventing them from talking about the LGBTs, right? So, like, if a teacher was gay, that's fine, but you just don't get to go into the class and lecture people. It's like, all right, let's talk a little bit about sexuality, 5-year-olds. Let me explain to you, what happens when a man loves another man. Like you're not allowed to do that. And it wasn't just about LGBTs, it was like anything sexual, right? So it was up to the parents to lecture children, not the teachers. And Disney didn't appreciate that. Like, they really didn't like that. So they said that they're going to do everything in their power in order to fight this. Which is a little bit ridiculous because you're a corporation that's designed to entertain and you're going against the actual elected people in a democracy, right? Like, whether you like it or not, the people in Florida voted for that legislation. Like, they voted for that governor. So when they went after them, like the government went like, okay, well, if you fuck with us, we can fuck with you. And believe it or not, this actually made DeSantis win even more popularity, right? So like it shows that this is what happens when you decide to mess with the people that are elected in a democracy. So DeSantis' engagement in this divisive culture issue battles, including his fight against Disney, has elevated him to a national prominence. He easily won a second term as governor in the November midterms and has consistently been near the top of the polls of the prospective 2024 Democratic primary field, claims CNBC, right? So, as you can see, it's very profitable for DeSantis to keep this up. Like, at this point, it's literally tied to his ratings, his polls. So they're going to just keep finding more and more ways on how to mess with Disney, and Disney knows this, which is why they're trying to sue Ron DeSantis. But I thought that they're going to sue him for something vague, but apparently not. It's apparently the fact that they went after Disney's privileges, right? So Disney says that it's unconstitutional. They say that what happened is targeted at them, and the latest strike is that the development contracts laid the foundation for billions of Disney investment dollars and thousands of jobs. The company noted its plans to invest $17 billion in Walt Disney World over the next decade, yielding an estimated of 13,000 new jobs on top of the 75,000 that it currently has. And basically the government didn't allow them to build the things they needed because they were building them, I guess, like in the way that they had the privilege to do it. So the government action was retaliatory, anti-business, and unconstitutional. So the lawsuit was filed on the same day that the District Board of Supervisors, which DeSantis has picked to take control over the Disney Orlando area park, moved to undo the development deal that Disney struck to thwart its power. Right? So basically, they're complaining about the fact that their privileges are being stripped away. They're not complaining that DeSantis is taxing them particularly, because like I was a little bit surprised finding out that the government could literally do that. So for instance, they can't actually just say, well, Walt Disney now has to pay double the taxes. But what they can do is that they can say the area in which Disney World operates is going to raise the taxes for amusement parks, right? So like you can word it in a vague way like that, and then it can end up that Disney has to pay more or has to do certain things. You know, you can just increase the level of bureaucracy. Like you can require that they need to have like 100,000 extra papers for everything they do. Like that. There is a lot of ways that the government can mess with the business, which is why it was hilarious when Disney stated that they're going to do everything in their power to mess with the government. This is why like most businesses just shut the fuck up. Like when the government like tries to, you know, say something, like if you're a company and you're just selling a product, you just shut the fuck up, you know. But in the case of Disney, they brought this on themselves. Now, I personally don't think they're going to win the lawsuit. But you know, like what they are trying to do is that they're trying to stall this. That they're hoping that, well, okay, if the Santis doesn't win the next term, then maybe the new guy isn't going to be as tough with us. So by suing the government, they usually end up putting things on hold so that they can, you know, still manage to do this business later on. And they're hoping that the lawsuit is going to drag, and this is pretty much their strategy at this point. But I hope that the person in charge of the marketing got fired, though. You know, like the person that thought, you know what's a good idea? Let's have a speech where we as a company stand against the elected government. I mean, what can be wrong with that? You know, and hopefully in a culture war where you literally make it so that the politician gains more support the more they mess with you. Like it's so freaking ridiculous. Like that, there's, you know, if DeSantis doesn't mess with them, he actually loses in the polls at this point. And this is brought on by Disney. Haha. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.